Hello Superset Maniacs and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another how would he have looked on that stage video, where in this kind of videos we're taking a certain bodybuilder and put him on a stage next to usually the first call out of that certain bodybuilding event. In this video we're trying to find out what would have happened if Ronnie Coleman peaked earlier. We all know that he was kind of a late bloomer. He won his first Mr. Olympia title in 1998. He placed 9th just 1 year prior in 1997. Before Ronnie's reign, Dorian Yates was the undisputed king, and unfortunately, after 1997 he had to retire because of multiple injuries. And we never had the chance to see Dorian versus Ronnie at their best on the same stage. So we're gonna take the 1999 version of Ronnie Coleman, which is believed to be his best shape ever, and put him next to Dorian on the 1995 Olympia stage. 1995 Dorian is one of his best and biggest versions ever. Of course, besides Dorian, we're also going to see Kevin Levrone, Shawn or Nasser or Sonbaty in this video, some other top contenders at that year's Olympia. So without further ado, let's get to the poses, and we start with the front double biceps. We have the top two finishers at that 1995 Mr. Olympia event, Dorian Yates and Kevin Levrone here, and next to them 1999 Ronnie Coleman, who simply destroys these guys in this pose. Dorian is out of the equation with that torn left bicep, while Kevin looks too washed out through the arms and legs to have any chance. Actually, except for the forearms and the calves, Ronnie Coleman wins everything against these two in this pose, even the midsection in my opinion, in spite of his unaesthetic abs. But I'd rather see a defined midsection than a soft belly like Kevin and Dorian in the front double. You either do a vacuum, either flex your abs. This is what I want to see personally. Front lat spread, and of course that this would never look as if it was in reality due to the camera angles and photo quality mainly. Ronnie benefits from the better quality shots in this comparison, but as we all know, Kevin and Dorian were in great conditioning at this event, just like Ronnie was in 1999, so we can mainly focus on their structures and poses execution. Anyway, these three right here are three of the best front lat spread poses of all time. It's commonly known and accepted that Dorian is unmatched in this pose due to his incredible lats, and he is winning the lats against both Kevin and Ronnie. But should this be just about the lats, guys? I know you Dorian fans point out that biceps don't matter that much in the front double, and you have to take into consideration the V-taper, the lats, even the calves. But in the front lat spread you only care about the lats, which is funny, but I digress, like Mikey would say. Other than the lats, Ronnie slams the door on Dorian Yates here with his rears, with the chest, the arms, and on top of all, he's got great lats himself. But I don't want to start a revolution here. Dorian Yates wins this pose, Ronnie is second, and I believe Kevin is a very close third in this pose. Side chest pose, and due to the very different camera angles, this doesn't look so good. We have Dorian and Shawn this time, and neither of them could ever hope to beat a prime Ronnie Coleman in the side chest, and if you wanna argue that, I respect your opinion, but I believe you're hardly mistaken. With Kevin Levrone, it would have been a different story, but this is what we got, guys. Photos from 1995 are hard to find or non-existent. Back double biceps, and here we have from left to right Kevin Levrone, Dorian Yates, Nasser Sonbaty, and the 1999 Ronnie Coleman. Kevin is farthest from the camera and Ronnie should theoretically be closest. I believe I could have scaled Ronnie even bigger than I did, but let's just go with this. The back poses would only be between Dorian and Ronnie, no offense to the other guys, even though only Kevin presents some glute striations besides Ronnie here. The back poses between Dorian and Ronnie are always tough to judge. Upper body, Dorian may even have the edge, but lower body, at the glute ham department, he loses big time against Big Ron. But he always wins the calves, so it depends what you value more. Nowadays judges seem to don't care about calves so much, but glute striations became very important as it's considered to be the main sign of good conditioning. But in Dorian's case, I don't think anyone would argue that he wasn't conditioned enough. Anyway, I'm not gonna settle in this video who actually had the better back double between Dorian and Ronnie. This would always be controversial, especially here where Dorian obviously has a camera angle disadvantage. Same story in the rear lat spread. With all due respect, I'm just gonna ignore Nasser, who stands between Dorian and Ronnie here. He's just no match to these guys from the back. Between Dorian and Ronnie Coleman, upper body, I believe Dorian looks considerably better than King Ron here. He looks wider and harder. So we can split the back poses between the two, I guess, and make everyone happy. Dorian would have the upper hand in the lat spread and Ronnie in the back double. As Ronnie also has the way better arms and biceps in that pose, the biceps should count for something as well, I believe. Side triceps, and Ronnie is no match to Kevin and Dorian, we all know that. In this pose, of course. And between Kevin and Dorian, I don't know, man, people often say Dorian had the best triceps or the best side triceps pose rather, but Kevin's triceps look twice the size of Dorian's here. I don't know. It's not only about the triceps, but other than the calves that are not visible here, what is Dorian winning against Kevin here? Not the shoulders, not the chest, not the midsection, and not the side leg. He may be grainier indeed, but I believe this is Kevin Levrone all day. Abs and thighs, and we all know Ronnie sucks in this pose, no disrespect, but let's face it, those superior thighs should count for something here as well, and his midsection didn't look all that bad here in 1999. His V-taper is also decent, so I don't know. Kevin and Dorian may have the better abs and in Dorian's case at least the better V-taper. But is this enough against this version of Ronnie? Honestly, I don't know. What do you guys think? Last pose is the most muscular. A pose that was not a mandatory back then, I would add, but it's a nice to have in this comparison for the overall picture. Dorian is obviously out of the equation here, but between Kevin and Ronnie, I don't know. Kevin has one of the best hands clasped, most muscular poses ever, and he looks to be having the bigger shoulders and arms than King Ron here. And definitely the better looking midsection, but Ronnie Coleman looks so massive and ripped at the same time. His paper thin skin really makes the difference, not to mention his quad, so overall I think I would go with Ronnie in this pose. In conclusion, we don't have a final score. We had several poses where different bodybuilders were present besides Dorian and Ronnie, and in the end this is really between Dorian, who actually won this contest, and this 1999 version of Ronnie Coleman. Now, this is not the most accurate comparison you could have between Dorian and Ronnie, but I really wanted to show you guys how would a prime Ronnie Coleman would look in 1995, and I believe he dominated this lineup, even Dorian Yates. It remains debatable, of course, but I see Ronnie Coleman with this version as the clear favorite to win the 1995 Mr. Olympia event. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys and see you next time.